We looked at other agents outside of Martyn Gerrard. As much as, the other agents did look at who we were on paper, a married couple with 2 kids, we would have certain needs and try to sort of tick the boxes for us. I feel like Craig and Martyn Gerrard went one step further and got to know us, our characters, our specific needs, and our approach to buying a house. And with us specifically, we were quite detailed and specific and maybe even pedantic about certain aspects, and he went with it and guided us in that way and just really got to know us really well and got us to the finish line. The communication between us and Craig and the team at Martyn Gerrard was fantastic from the beginning. And I mean that in the sense that, Craig was not only sort of available when we needed to talk to him to ask questions or to follow up on something. If he wasn't around, one of his team would take whatever it is that we were looking into and sort of get back to me and take that sort of question or that whatever we're trying to find out, just, take it as a project of their own and personally and really took us under their wing. I found that Craig was always responsive within very sort of short period of time, if he by email, by phone, that was very smooth, that part of the process, because it's not a given with I think other agents and other sort of people that you deal with when it comes to buying a house. Craig's knowledge of this area, sort of the North Finchley, Woodside Park area, was phenomenal, because as much as I am from London and my husband's from a bit further away, I am not from North Finchley. There were lots of questions that I had about just the council and utilities and parking permits, and Craig had the answer to everything. I feel like I'll probably still be calling him now, even now that the purchase has been complete, just with questions here and there, because he's always been so helpful and so forthcoming, and he's always said, my door's open. Even now, obviously that part is fit, that part of the process is done. I feel like I could just call him just with questions about, how do I apply for a parking permit or something. I would say that Martyn Gerrard and Craig and the rest of the team, they definitely gave it that personal touch when it came to just dealing with us and taking care of us and our needs and understanding what we're looking for, and just in every stage of the process. Also, when it came to the formal side of things, just each stage of making an offer, dealing with solicitors, the mortgage process and everything. We are in the UK, we're first time buyers, so we were new, we had a lot of questions, there were a lot of things that we didn't know that might seem obvious to other people, and he just, in a really sort of clear way, walked us through that process. I guess when it came to the other, we didn't meet the sellers, but he definitely relayed quite clearly what their needs were, what their perspective was, what they were sort of looking to get out of the transaction in the process. And I felt that Martyn Gerrard and Craig definitely were in a position to sort of make that whole process kind of transparent, even though they were, taking care of both sides. The industry doesn't have the reputation always to have that sort of trustworthiness, but I think that what made Craig and Martyn Gerrard stand out was that they were able to earn our trust by being consistent, by staying true to their word, getting back to us when they said they would, providing the answers that we needed for them to provide, being in touch, understanding who we were, and really taking on board all of our needs. And again, I think it's mainly consistency. I think that consistency and staying in touch and staying on top of everything was really what made us realise that, Craig and the team, we can rely on them, we can trust them to see us through the whole process. I feel like one marker of how you can trust someone is when they do what they say they're going to do. They're not all talk, right? And I felt like no question was too silly, because we were kind of first time buyers here. So there were a lot of questions that I felt silly asking, like I should probably know this as a 40-year-old woman, but I was never made to feel that way. And it was, every single thing was taken from sort of A to Z. Every single sort of issue or question was understood and covered. I think that's really what, for me, set them beyond. The reason that I'm doing this testimonial for Craig and Martyn Gerrard is because they really did provide an exceptional service. We're in the middle of building works over here, and we're obviously there's a lot of noise and action going on in the house right now. But it was important for me to acknowledge that, because he really did go above and beyond. Craig really, walked us through the entire process with such care and with such attention and with so much patience, and just giving so much of his time and attention to us, and to answering every single question, so helping us solve every single issue, following up on everything, literally from the beginning right until the end. And even now, after we're at the end of the whole thing, after we've completed, I do feel like I could call Martyn Gerrard or call Craig up and just say, hey, sorry, can you just remind me, who do I need to talk to if I need to sort out my council, or whatever it is. And I don't think that's a given. And, I think that kind of service deserves to be acknowledged. I would definitely feel comfortable recommending Martyn Gerrard and the team to friends and family if they're house hunting, or they want to sell, or they're looking to buy. Because compared to other experiences I've had, and as I say, we were quite aggressively house hunting throughout the summer, so we did come across different characters, different agencies, different companies. Compared to them, you will get people who will look at you and your needs and address that in a very detailed and specific way. And when you're approaching such a big and personal project like buying or selling or renting or whatever, finding a home, it's kind of crucial to have that element in there, and that's because that's what you need to really get it right.